Hi everyone. Right, it's saying I'm live. I'm just going to do a quick check in the group to make sure. And no, it's that side. I can see hair sticking out. Why is it that you go on a live and you suddenly see your hair sticking out all strange ways? Right, let's just do a quick check. If you're watching this on replay, do the usual hashtag replay. Just I can see that you're watching it and see that it's valuable to you. I want this group to work for you, to give you what you need in your life as a business owner. So am I live? No, I can't see myself. And there's no one joining me yet. But as I say, yeah, pop hashtag replay on if you're watching it on replay. Here we are. Yes, I am on there live. So I'm going to scroll up so I can see comments, and I'm going to quickly tag Fran as she has asked me to. And it doesn't like me doing it when I'm using. There we go. Okay. So we are talking shadow work today. Hi, lovely. I can't see who that is. So do let me know who's on. Oh, is it Jane? Because you've liked the post. I can't see it on Facebook, frustratingly. But hi, welcome. Today's training is all about shadow work. And I wanted to to focus on this month because last month we talked about manifesting, and I gave you guidance on the 5 steps to manifest what you want for business success. But I know that sometimes we really struggle with, we can do all the actions, but things don't quite work out the way they want to. And there's like this missing link. And for me, the answer there is shadow work. Excuse me. I started on my own journey of shadow work about 18 months ago. I'd heard the concept. I'll be honest with you. I was like, not sure I want to do this. It all sounded a bit scary, but actually it's a really beautiful process. And again, like it should be an intrinsic part of mindset, but a lot of people don't teach this. I think there's a fear around it, of what it is. So like it's about understanding it in a better way. Just realized that seen a crystal there. And I'm going to talk you through what it is, what it isn't. I've got some practical steps that you can take. Some of you will find, and many of my clients have actually done this work without actually realizing it, because I don't necessarily put badges to things, because it's all kind of, it fades in and out of other things. Hi, Debbie. It does sound scary, doesn't it, Jane? But it doesn't need to be. And actually, it can be a really beautiful journey. Think about it to reframe the concept of shadows. We think that, something lurks in the shadow. But actually, when it's a really hot day, where do we want to find our safety? Where do we want to sit where it's more comfortable? Where do we want to be? In that really hot sunshine, we seek the shade. The shade can be refreshing. The shade can replenish us. The shade can be our savior. And that's what I want you to think about, not like it lurks in the shadows. And I think that's the mistake that a lot of people make. Do give me some hearts, get the algorithms going, because I'm noticing that Facebook is not showing a lot of this stuff to people. So please do, if you're watching this later, comment as well. Ask questions. What I want to ask you guys, what do you know on the concept of shadow work? Are you aware of it? What do you know of it? Have you done any work on this? Let me know so that I can kind of tailor this as to how you want it. Remember, I've got the Q&A next week as well, that you can ask the questions. I'm a great believer in, you kind of need to, we all have different styles of learning. I remember this from my CIPD when I was learning back in the day for my HR corporate role. Honey and Mumford are, see, I passed my CIPD again. I remember all of this. Really not that much useful information these days, but 4 learning styles, and I've got to remember them now. The activist is me, getting down to it is when I do it, I learn it. There's the theorist that learns from kind of the concepts and analogies and things like that. And I'm not going to try the other two, but there are 4 styles of learning. So that's how I tailor my training, using the knowledge that I've got from my CIPD to really make it work for you. Because, it's all very well, I find a lot of masterclasses, a lot of training I go to, it's great, but it's when you start doing it or you start looking into it that you have the questions. And that's why I do a Q&A the week after, because I want you to go away, play with it, and then come back and ask the questions so that you get what you need out of this. It's not going to be fulfilling my destiny if you're not going to get what you need. All right. What's the point of me coming on and doing this? So, who said hello? Karen, hello. It's lovely to see you. So, shadow work. Now, I did loads of prep on this, and I did loads of research, as I always do on things, just to make sure that I've got everything. And, I'm not telling you incorrect information. I make sure I've got, from several sources. And I found there was some stuff missing out there in shadow work. So I'm going to talk about that as well. And I'm actually going to talk about myself and my journey through shadow work, because I think that will really, I think it might resonate with a lot of you. So, right, we're going to get started. You've heard of shadow work, but unsure what it actually is. Okay, that's fine. I can't actually see who, so that's Karen. I'm just checking the Facebook because I can see who's on it. When I'm looking at StreamYard, unless you've given permission, I can't see who you are. So forgive me for keep looking at my other screen. So yeah, I was the same. And do you know what? When I started my journey on shadow work, I really struggled to find out what it was. And I think the reason is because it comes under so many different guises. Shadow work is almost like an overlap of mindset. It is to do with the mindset side of things. It encompasses limiting beliefs and fears, which are talked about separately, but that comes under the idea of shadow work. So you might have done some of this work without actually realizing. But ultimately, shadow work is about understanding the bits that you maybe have judged, that you perceive as bad, that you repress and pretend that they don't exist. One of the examples, is a limiting belief that maybe you spoke up. I was talking to a client about speaking up this morning in coaching. You spoke up and you were shot down, and therefore you've created that belief that it's not safe to speak up for yourself and ask for things for yourself. So you become that people pleaser, right? So it could be something like that. For me, it manifested, and part of my shadow, I'm not going to say it's all of my shadow. I'm still working on, very much working on this. It's always a work in progress, isn't it? And more things come up each time. But for me, there was, I'm going to talk about drama. And now Debbie being my client, and Fran, if she's on here yet, and Jane, even, you might have heard me talk about drama. So I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But first of all, what is not talked about is the linkage between manifesting and shadow work. And as much as the research I could find, I couldn't find this link. And this for me is such an important link, because the reason you are not manifesting what you want or what you consciously want is because your shadow is in charge of your manifestation. All right. And I'll give you, that's where my drama plays into this. So if you are someone who is struggling with the concept of manifestation, then my advice is to step into your shadow work. It is really what transformed it for me. And shadow work, as I was saying, it's not about saying this bit's bad, so I'm going to get rid of it. It's actually about acceptance and welcoming your shadow in. And appreciating it. Because remember, I mean, I asked the question in my personal profile yesterday, are you a spender or a saver? Now, you might have a perception about one being better than the other, but actually, neither is the right way. It's about a balance, isn't it? It's like being really determined, but also not stepping back and looking to see what you need to do. You know, it's about having that balance. And that's where you need your shadow and your light to be able to come together in acceptance and work together. And that's when you can truly manifest your what you want, your business success. Now, I've got some notes here. And to be quite honest, I'm going to like skip some of them because it's for me, it's about the manifestation process. And, you know, shadow work is an important part, but what I want you to know is some of you will have already done it. If you've been on my connected blueprint, if you've been on my master your money mindset, if you've been on my business builder, you will have worked on some of your shadow already. So you've done some of this work as part of the work that I do, and it's always in there. And I also ask you the questions as part of the prosperity circle as well. So it runs through what I was doing, and I didn't realize it before I started on my shadow journey as well. So the definition of shadow work is that it's the process of exploring and embracing the hidden, unconscious aspects of yourself, the parts that you've suppressed, denied, or ignored, and that you pretend don't exist, in very simple terms. But what is happening is that those thoughts are on that subconscious, as Jane, your little subconscious on the side, that is influencing your thoughts, your actions, your relationships. For me, part of it was about, you know, visibility. For those of that, you know, my background as a child, I grew up with being parentified. So I wasn't important. It was all about what I did to support my mother's emotions, right? I was a support rather than a person in their own right. So I was very much brought up to be responsible for her and her emotions and her support. And what that left me with was not being important. And look, this is a post-it note on the top of my screen, right? That tells me every day that I'm important. And what that did was that it then stopped me feeling like I could give that support. You know, I could go out on social media and give my opinion, or I could offer my expertise. Who am I? I'm not important. Why would anybody listen to me? Was how it showed up in my life. So, you know, it's about understanding these aspects, and this is very like shining a light on these aspects, but it is, and that's where the shadow concept comes from. It's the bits that we that are kind of we pretend aren't there, that are behind us, that by actually welcoming and accepting into our lives, we can step forward and really hugely grow. It has been such a transformational process for me to actually do that work. You know, it's been incredible to step into my shadow and welcome my shadow. And that's why I want you to reframe it to welcome that. Tell me, does that kind of resonate with you guys? Does that feel like it? Does that make sense? If you've got any questions, please do pop your questions in. So as I say, my kind of take on this is to kind of think about it as that everything in your life you manifest, right? You create your own reality, and manifesting that reality, whether you believe in this as woo and the universe or spirit guides, angels, your higher self, however you believe in it, God, or your version of God, you know, whatever religion you are, it doesn't matter. But ultimately, manifestation is to make real, right? Whether you think it's woo or not, it's that side of things. Good. I'm glad it makes sense. Do ask any questions as it comes along. But manifesting, you are manifesting everything. So if you're manifesting things that you don't particularly want, then look as to why you might want it. Okay. So my journey on this, I manifested drama and chaos. I when drama and chaos came into my life, it allowed me to step up. Now, think about what I said about parentification. I was responsible for my mother. I was my mother's parents growing up. And so when drama happened, it allowed me to be important, right? The bit that I was missing, the bit that I didn't feel, it allowed me to feel important. I could step in, and I was always kind of rewarded with that acknowledgement of, oh well, you handled that so well. You know, we couldn't have done it without you. And so subconsciously, I wanted drama in my life because it meant that I could do things, right? That I could step up and have power, and people would acknowledge me as important. But what it also led to was it gave me the excuse of not doing the things that I needed to do, not doing the things that I needed to do to grow my business. So, and it still happens. So, obviously, I'm promoting my workshop next week, which I'd all love you to come to. I know it gets incredible results. This will be the third time I've run it. It is incredible what happens. And it's, you know, so good. Last night I manifested some real fun drama. Oh gosh, as of last night, I was about to cancel everything for my week, postpone next week's workshop. I couldn't. I'll be honest. The words I used was I was broken. And it was the drama and chaos coming into my life, right? Now, because I've done that shadow work, and the reason I say drama is because this all came about in a conversation with my husband, and how we realized that the drama was actually stopping us achieving things in life, and how we created this drama. And so we made a pact that when we saw each other doing this, we'd go, drama. Now, to be fair, he's not drama at all. He's steady. Doesn't get excited, doesn't get upset. Me, whoo, I am up and down like those bloody roller coasters. So, you know, it's more about him going, drama to me. And it takes that, like, just burst the bubble. It allows that to happen. I'm so glad this is resonating. That's what I want. I want you to be able to do something about this. So, going back to my story, what was happening was I was creating drama and chaos, right? I lived in anxiety. And the things would happen, and I would use them as my excuse, right? Whereas last night, the drama that happened, and to be fair, the whole weekend was just drama. And so, like, I could feel myself starting to use it as an excuse, right? Cancel my coaching this morning, cancel this afternoon session, cancel this live. I've got coaching tomorrow. I've got coaching on Thursday. Cancel it all. I can't do it. I'm just gonna. I'll just work behind the scenes. I won't stop because I have a rule. Don't stop. Just slow down. I can't do it though. I can't face people. And I was like, oh my God, that's drama. Sam, you're in the drama. You're creating the chaos. This is all because you're about to do it. And you can almost link it to ULPs as well. Okay, I'll do a whole live on ULPs. There is one in the group if you want to, ULP, upper limiting problems, if you want to go back and look at that. So there's that as well. But this is because I'm stepping up. I know that next week is going to be incredibly powerful. So I'm getting that resistance and stopping me. That's my shadow manifesting this, right? And it stops me earning money. It was, I would manifest drama in the form of money. Years ago, I've told the story of £14 in the bank account and the mortgage being due. I got off. There was something about that, like, and this is where I come from. I read the book Existential King. I've started creating a book list for this for you as well, so I'll put that into the group very soon. But Existential Shadow's a prick in always the one, Fran. But like, this book talks about how you kind of get off on it and think about like drama. I was able to step up and feel good about myself, right? So I created drama around money, in not having enough money when I needed it, because that created drama and I could rescue us. So it was really stopping me in so many ways of my business, of my life, not having money. I was living on anxiety. It's that thing that people are proud of, working under pressure. It's like, why would you? Logically, why would you work well under pressure? No one works well under pressure. The mind doesn't work well under pressure. But for some reason, we tell ourselves it's that justification for it. You wouldn't have me any other way. No, I wouldn't. Well, tweaks a bit, maybe. So you can see where this manifested it, and like it's still coming up, right? But I recognize it, I accept it, and I go, okay, this is drama. And it was this morning in the shower, water. I love water running off me. I stood there and I was like, okay, drama. Is this drama serving me? No. Can I do anything about this drama today? No. Is there something I can do long term in the drama? Yes. Okay, I can do that. Is it going to help me by letting go of what my plans for my business today with this drama? No. Will it create more drama? Yep. Because it's going to keep me busy making excuses. I'm going to feel guilty. I've got that stick to beat myself up about not turning up for my clients, all of this sort of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. If I was in the wrong energy to support my clients, I would absolutely tell them. But having done that work in the shower, I could do some tapping, deal with it, and accept that that's how it was and that's what I was doing. Acknowledge it and move on. Can you see how it works? By understanding our shadow, it allows us to move forward quickly. Okay, so shadow work isn't necessarily the bad stuff. It's, drama. Let's face it, me being able to step up into drama is absolutely how I help my clients. Because when they are struggling and their head is full, I have clarity for them. I can pick the bits out that they need. So it's a great strength for me. But it also, it's like everything, there's two sides to the coin, I use the red light analogy. It's exactly the same. I use this all the time. So when a red light comes and you're in a rush, you can choose to go, I'm in a rush, come on, change. Or you can go, okay, I was rushing. Thank you, universe. I want to get there in one piece. Same situation, it's how you choose to deal with it. And it's the same for your shadow, right? By welcoming your shadow in, you can therefore move faster. You're not, and this is the thing, we're almost brought up to fight ourselves, to fight everybody. There's so much fighting going on in the world at the moment. But why? We're stronger together. And certainly we're better when we're not fighting ourselves. So embrace your shadow. In fact, one of the beautiful things I saw the other day, and I did look for a box and I should have done this more, but imagine, right, I go, right, crumpled up. Oh, this is your head. These are all your thoughts. Look at all of them, right? These were all my thoughts not long ago. Look at them all. Right, all different colors, all different things, right? They're all screwed up and all that sort of stuff, right? That's your head. What we want to do is we want to take it out and pull them apart. I don't want them taking bits out of themselves. Right, and put them so that they're neatly and we can see them all. It's not very good, is it? And they're not scrumpled. Right, it's not about throwing them away. It's about flattening them out and making them so that we can see them and that they're legible, right? And that's what this is about. Okay, so is that all making sense? Is that feeling good? Is that feeling manageable? That's what I want you to think about. It's feeling like something you can do, right? It's not scary, it's not horrible, but it's work that's worth doing. Okay, so let me know how you're feeling. Is it faster though? Because I've been working on something that slowed down my income, but is helping my personal development. Right. So yeah, potentially it'll slow down. And I'm not saying whether it's faster or slower, but the longer term it's kind of like that graph, isn't it? It's like you can either go like this, or you can go like that. Okay. So it's not necessarily about speed, it's about the amount that you unlock. And Fran, particularly with you, it's that fighting, and it's using the energy of fighting when you don't need to. So when you accept the shadow, it's working with your shadow. And I love Jane when we work together on money mindset. Jane actually referred to her shadow, her subconscious, as a naughty little child. Being a childminder, that also helped. And it was like, so it was about working through that rather than fighting it, And again, use the analogy, a lot of us are mums. You try and like fight your child to do their homework, and you ain't going to go anywhere, are you? Because they just put more of a fight. Whereas if you start working with them and encouraging them, that carrot instead of the stick, you get a lot further, right? It's a lot easier, less energy expended, And I know this myself. My son is like anti school and all of that sort of stuff. But, I sat down with him and did some spellings the other day and helped him through it. And we wrote it down, and he got all the spellings right for the first time ever in his class, in his spelling test. I said to him this morning, right, I want to do a spelling. You've got some spellings due in on Friday. I want to do them tonight. Okay. And he went, okay, mummy. I did my TT Rockstars last night, so I've done some homework already. But yes, I'll do the spellings tonight with you. I'm like, oh yes. Whether that ends up the case when he comes home is another matter. But he didn't go, wah! I didn't have to fight him. And your subconscious is the same. So by embracing that, it will be less energy, right? So my concern with what you're saying here, Fran, and knowing you so well, you're fighting it. Whereas if you could do that little bit, and I know surrender is your hardest thing, allowing, then I think it might help a bit more. Okay. Is this the work I've been doing with my subconscious? Is my subconscious your shadow? So, no, it's not. They are related. It's all intertwined. Who's just asked? Yes, so Jane, yes, it is a lot to do with what you've oh, TT Rock says there's one that you don't have to get timed on. Sebi didn't like that either. There's one you don't get timed on. So there's different options. Don't do the timed one. But going back to your question, Jane, yes, it's linked to the work that you're doing, right? So yes, because one of the action steps I'm going to give you is journaling, which you are brilliant, and it brings out so much for you. So, keep doing that. So my shadow. So yes, it is. It's kind of like your subconscious. So yes, it is linked to that. And shadow work isn't necessarily about. And yeah, yes. The conversation. I'm just going back to the conversations we've had and the work that you're doing. Yes. So we talked about you not fighting your subconscious. We talked about welcoming your subconscious in. That is what you do with shadow work. So yes, you are doing that work. Okay. Spot on. And that is why you are having the shifts, and why you have, well, my quote with Jane for everybody is that if you keep on having this many shifts, you're going to start a bloody earthquake, because she seems to just, I mean, we can have a DM conversation and woof, that's it. So she's working through it very, very well. So yes, absolutely. And it's finding the way that works for you. Jane, you found the way that works for you. So it's spot on. And yes, you love journaling, so that's great. Fran, my book's nearly finished and an editor is booked. So I've not immersed myself and given my shadow what she wants. The drama is in the book, but it means I've not earned as much. Yeah, but like it might be that book goes bestseller and you earn loads, and it's not, you've got it out, but I wonder if you've accepted it, because the conversation that we had on DMs the other day, that's two different things. You've been allowing a lot of stuff through, and revisiting it all, and I know what that's like, and it can make you feel worse. But have you actually accepted that shadow of yourself, or are you still fighting it? And again, it goes back to that concept of surrender that I know we've worked on before. I asked the question of subconscious, of how we can do things instead of submitting to negative thoughts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Asking your subconscious, what do I need to do? And this is where, I mean, for me, it was a conversation with my husband that brought it out. I was explaining what shadow work was, and all of a sudden the light bulbs were going off around me. And it is having that reflection, because remember, this is the challenge that we have, is that our subconscious doesn't want us to find out the information, because it's not in our interest, and its interest for us to know this information. So it's about pulling it out. And often we need someone else to reflect that with us. I do have some slots for one-to-one work. If people do want to do it, we can just do a power hour, or you can book a number of slots if you wanted. But yeah, so it often needs that reflection. But journaling is a great way if you can do that, if you're skilled at journaling. And again, I've got some free training if you want to get into journaling, because it is a great way of reflecting on it. My problem is often my subconscious doesn't want me to journal, and having an awareness of that makes me then start to journal, because otherwise I would put it off and not do it. So practical steps for you to do, because I want you to be able to walk away from this training and have something to do. That's always my aim for what I do here. So I want you to think about what would work for you. So Fran, you hate journaling, yet you can write a book. The concept, you believe you hate journaling. It's about finding the right way to journal. Okay, so things that you can do. Self-reflection. Think about patterns. Do you remember I said about drama and about chaos? And how that worked. And I saw that pattern of what I was doing. If you're manifesting things, look for patterns in what you're doing. And how are you creating that situation? What keeps happening? That phrase, oh my gosh, more, or another day, same shit. When you're saying that stuff, observe, take that time, embody that feminine energy to reflect. Okay. Journaling. I love journaling. I talk about it a lot. I have free training on journaling if you would like it. Even those people that hate it. And yes, Debbie's got a journal for confidence as well. So depending on what you're wanting, Debbie's got a confidence journal, which takes you through how to gain confidence, which, do you remember, my 4 steps are always clarity, confidence, consistency, clients. So Debbie's got something there. I've got training on how to create a consistent journaling process. So it's, and then one of the things is that we always think about journaling as handwriting. It doesn't need to be. I have a beautiful client who's dyslexic, so she speaks into a recorder to journal. It's like having a conversation with a friend. That's all it is. So journaling is a great way to ask why you're doing this. Think about the negative experiences and bring up the discomfort so that you can accept it and allow it. seek support. You know, I said this all came out for me when I was talking to my husband. We went on a long walk for his birthday, and oh my gosh, it all came out. You know, I'm here as well if you want support on that. I can bring it out a lot quicker than the average person because obviously I am trained in this. This is my experience. This is what I do on a daily basis. It's how I work with my clients. So obviously, you know, I mean, I had one call with someone and it was literally first 5 minutes and we realized what she wasn't doing and we solved it right then. So we can really get it. But, you know, it's about creating that openness. So, you know, you can seek support. There's also mindfulness practices, and I have actually just recorded a meditation for shadow work as well. So I will be putting that out there in the next couple of days for you to actually work on that, and it will help you welcome it in. Debbie very kindly tested out the meditation for me and said she loved it. So that's good. So I have that coming out for you in the next couple of days. If you would like me to make sure you get it and you don't miss it, pop a me please in this post and I will make sure that you get it first of all. Okay, so I've talked about the shadow work. I have talked about how it fits in with manifesting. I have talked about my experience of shadow work. My clients have lots of experience of shadow work, from perceiving themselves as lazy, so they don't finish things because what's the point? They're not that sort of person. They'll never achieve it, so they don't put enough effort in. So therefore, that's what they do. They manifest that situation. I have someone else who, you know, believed. I'm trying not to. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that one because that might give too much away. That was you, yes, Debbie. Thank you. You were the one that perceived yourself as lazy, and yet she's on my courses. She's one of the star pupils, so there is no way she's lazy. So it was absolutely blown away when she started talking about this. It was ridiculous. So you know, this is where Jane, I think I've talked about you. Your shadow was that you were mercenary, weren't you? When selling, you were a horrible person because you were selling stuff that helped people with their skincare. How awful are you? See? And it stopped you doing what you needed to do. It really does. Now, I am going to work through this as well in next week's workshop. So if you want to do it in relation to money, and we're going to be working through the release to receive, focusing on the money, then please do join me on the workshop. Even if you've done it before, I've upped the level. You're going to be getting much more. I've even created a meditation that is everybody that signs up before Thursday is going to get in their emails. So check out your email on Thursday with a meditation for you to do prior to us getting together next Tuesday. That's really gonna, I mean, it was powerful before. I know I got a message saying that that workshop was mind-blowing. So if you think that it was good before, it's gonna be amazing next week. So it's crazy. Yes, it is crazy. And this is what happens. This is why we get in our own way. And this is why I want to share this stuff with you, because I don't want you to. I know the world will be a better place with you being successful. So if you want more success, more money, but more fun, fulfillment, feeling good about what you're doing and how you're doing it, next week, the workshop is for you. So please do sign up for that. Right. So I've gone through all of this. I've got my Q&A next week, but are there any quick questions before we go? I'm conscious of time. I like doing this training in 30 minutes so that everybody can, you know, it's not too much. And of course, we have the Q&A for you to ask the questions that are really relevant to you next week. But is there anything that's come up for you now that you want to ask? Or are you feeling comfortable with what you're going to do? I will be posting the meditation. I can't remember when it's due to go out in the next couple of days. So look out for that. I'd love to have feedback on it as well. It's always nice to know that it's hitting. If you are struggling with your shadow and believe that you need to do some shadow work, then by all means contact me and I will direct you to the best resource to do it, whether that be journaling, whether that be a one-to-one with me, you know, and then it's up to you. I'm not going to force you down any route. and I will give you some guidance. So just drop me a DM if you want to do some more work on this. You're more confused. Okay, so tell me what are you confused by, Fran? Tell me, what do you need clarity on? Because I don't want to send anybody away more confused. I want clarity here. What can I help you on? Drop me more information. Is anybody else, is it making sense for other people? Please do tell me. I think we've got 3 people commenting, but I can see there's 5 people watching. So do tell me. I would do a musical interlude, but I can't sing at all. Okay, I don't know. I just thought I was doing what I needed to now. I'm confused. Don't worry about little old me. I don't worry about you. I care about you, honey. Right. I think this is your shadow. Once again, you... Oh, I'm glad it makes so much sense. Thanks, Karen. I think, Fran, you're very much one that wants ABC, and it's mindset work is so individual that it can't be particularly tailored. So I've just seen Debbie's response. I think let's take this on to DMs. You are doing what you need to do. What I am just getting as a message for you is that, yeah, you're taking that step, but you're only dipping your toe. The puddle ain't that deep. Stick your foot in. I can actually see your foot, like just the big toes dipping in, and it's a really shallow puddle. So if you dipped your foot in, it would literally only come up like that much. It wouldn't even go over the top of your foot. And it's saying, slap your foot in. You can do this. We can do it, is what they're saying. It's all very well writing about it, but you're writing for someone else to read it. That's the difference. You're writing this for someone else to read. You have not opened yourself up fully. That's the message I'm getting. If you want to take it on DMs, I can, darling. All right. Okay. Makes so much sense. That's brilliant. Makes sense, but a little hesitant, like poking a sleeping bear. Yeah. But isn't it like anything to do with kind of mindset and soul connection, which is what I very much work on? It's like that's our subconscious wanting to stop us working on this because it knows that it's going to change, and it doesn't get the concept that it will be better. It gets the concept that it's different, and that's scary. It's like it's a big wide world out there, what's out there, and it's throwing up all these fears to try and stop you. Whereas actually, you've done a lot of this work already, Debbie. We've identified the lazy. That was quite a deep one. We've done a lot of the stuff because you've been on the connected blueprint. You have done a lot of this work already. And I think it's just about, it's trying to protect you. And the work that Jane and I did was very much around saying, thank you for protecting me. I don't need that protection anymore. I'm a big girl. So I'd like you to be my kind of safety catch, but not stop me anymore. So let's work together on it. And that's kind of how I see working with your subconscious, rather than kind of it going, oh, you don't want to be doing that. Oh, no. It's too scary. Too scary. It's a bit like COVID. Do you remember in lockdown when it all first happened? It was scary to go outside, wasn't it? You couldn't see COVID. You didn't know whether you had it. I remember us coming home and getting the kids undressed at the door and getting them to go straight into the downstairs bathroom, wash their hands, and then they could walk into their pajamas. Like, it was like so scary. And that's kind of, and now we know that with the right environment, it's not as scary as it needed to be. Um, and so, it's with hindsight, we're able to change things, and we do things differently. But that fear protected us whilst it needed to, and now we know what we need, what kind of parameters are that we can work in. And it's the same sort of thing that, your subconscious go, oh, it's scary, don't go out there. And you go, okay, no, I just want to take a look. All right. You don't have to go jumping out there and go, hello. You can, it's about taking that tentative step. Fran's dipped her toe in, and I'm telling her now she can put a whole foot in. She checked it with her toe and checked how deep it was, and then put a foot in. She will put a foot in. I'll bloody push her in if she doesn't. All right. I hope that helps everybody. As I say, I've got Q&As next week. Please sign up to my workshop. I have also done a competition. So if you share the my post, look out for the giveaway. I'll put it in the featured actually. If you share that and tag me, I will put you into free draw, and you can either have free time in the prosperity circle or a one-to-one. I mean, we could work on the shadow work in the one-to-one and really sort that out, if that's what you wanted to do as well. So please do share, because the more people we have on the workshop next week, the more power it will have. It'll be amazing. All right. Okay. It's the perfect temperature for you. It's not too cold. It's the perfect temperature. You can stick your old foot in. All right, then. Okay. I will see you next week. And if you've got any questions, let me know. And in the meantime, remember, no drama. Drama. All right. Take care all.